subject, we have a quick special guest who wants to come out to talk for 5 minutes. This man is an international legend. He's written for High Times Magazine. He's published umpteen different books. I don't know if that's a word in English and Spanish. Many, many different books about cannabis and the cannabis culture. The Ganja Guru, the Wizard of Weed. Let's hear it for Ed Rosenthal. Where is he? Ed, I told him. Right? He came a long way, too, all the way from Oakland, California, Berkeley, California. He's like 8 million years old now, so, right? And we should all aspire to be old stoners, by the way. Old stoners, always more fun than old drunks. No? All right. Some of you like to be, where's Ed? Isn't that his old column? Ed Rosenthal!
Hello, everybody. We'll try it again. Hello, everybody. Isn't it great to be able to go to a convention again? You thought that you were tired of them, right? When they ended, and now you realize you're addicted. So, you know, everything that the government and the antis said about cannabis turned out to be the reverse of what they said. So they said that cannabis leads to dangerous drugs. And as I see it, marijuana leads to hashish. But in New York City, where marijuana is now legal to smoke anywhere that you can smoke a cigarette, which means you can't smoke anywhere. So, but in New York City, now if you have a prescription for opiates, or right before it became legal and was only legal medically, if you had a prescription for opiates, you could get marijuana from it. So it turns out that opiates lead to marijuana. And that's good. Now, there's only, you know, I was brought in as a special speaker because they realized I was going to be in Barcelona during these conventions. And they didn't really give me a subject to talk about, but I want to talk about the most serious subject, and that is, you know, the people in prison all over the world for marijuana, both here in Europe, in many states in the United States, of course, in Asia. And in the United States, while there are people becoming billionaires from the marijuana trade, there are other people languishing in prison for 20 years or more. Same thing in Europe. In France, it's terrible. The police have seemed to be acting more violently than they have in many years. They're trying to get their last licks in, I guess. Germany, there's an opposition to legalization. Here in Spain, the police are acting perhaps unconstitutionally. And, you know, there are human suffering from that. And we're here at this convention. It's really a trade convention, and we're doing business, and there are people languishing in prison just for this. And so I'm not going to be talking about how to cultivate today. You know, you can buy my book and learn how to cultivate. But what we have to learn is compassion, and that each of us in the trade, anybody who is making any commerce in it, has a personal obligation to help get these people out. And there are organizations, I'm not going to go through all the different organizations in the United States. There's an organization called Last Prisoner Project that very successful businessman, Steve D'Angelo, who also was a yippie, is doing. And here in Europe, there are any number of organizations. And so I'm imploring that everybody who's here, you know, some people have money, other people have time, but it's one or the other, money or time. If you're involved in the trade, you owe it to get out your brothers and sisters who are languishing in prison. Thank you.
Ed Rosenthal, very heartfelt. And it's true. We have to remember that cannabis legalization started as a social justice project before it was a way for people to show up and try to make millions of dollars being capitalists. So let's always keep the spirit of social justice and the spirit of freedom and the spirit of fairness in our hearts as we do all this business. And with that said, vamos a comer. Let's go have lunch, man. It's time.